The passive income myth. What it actually takes to stop trading. Time for money. Most people discover passive income through the same pipeline: a YouTube video, an Instagram post, someone showing their phone screen with numbers going up while they're on a beach. Passive income, they say, is how you escape the job, how you make money while you sleep, how you achieve freedom. And then they try to build it, and they discover that almost nothing about it is passive, at least not in the beginning. What passive income actually is. The term is misleading. Passive income doesn't mean effortless income. It means income that's decoupled from your active time, income that continues whether or not you show up. But almost every form of passive income requires either a significant upfront capital investment, a significant upfront time investment, or both. The passive part comes later, after the work is done, and the work in most cases is substantial. There are three legitimate categories. The first is capital-based passive income, dividends, interest, rental yield. You invest money, the money generates returns. This is the most genuinely passive of the three, but it requires capital. A €500,000 portfolio at 4% dividend yield generates €20,000 per year. That's a meaningful income, but it requires €500,000 first. The second is asset-based passive income, a business, a product, intellectual property that generates royalties. You build something once and it generates revenue over time. The upfront investment is time and skill, not capital. The third is leveraged income, systems, teams, processes that allow you to generate more than you could alone. This requires both capital and time, and significant management. The capital required is larger than people think. The most common passive income fantasy is dividends. Buy stocks, collect dividends, live off the income. The math is straightforward. If you need €2,000 per month to live, €24,000 per year, and your portfolio yields 4%, you need €600,000 invested, not €60,000, not €100,000, €600,000. Most people drastically underestimate this number, and that €600,000 doesn't include inflation protection. If inflation runs at 3% and your dividend yield is 4%, your real return is 1%. To maintain purchasing power over time, you need a total return, dividends plus growth, that exceeds inflation, which means you need even more capital or a higher yield portfolio that typically comes with higher risk. The time required is also larger than people think. The alternative route, building a product, a content business, a SaaS tool, requires a different kind of investment. Years of consistent output before the income becomes meaningful. A YouTube channel, a newsletter, a digital product, these can eventually generate income with minimal ongoing effort. But they require hundreds or thousands of hours of work before reaching that point. The people who make it look passive on Instagram are showing you year 5. They're not showing you the 3 years of posting to an empty audience, the realistic path. Passive income is real, but it's the result of a process, not a shortcut to one. The realistic path has 3 phases. Phase 1, build the capital or the asset. This takes years. Phase 2, the capital or asset begins generating income. This is where most people give up because phase 1 takes longer than expected. Phase 3, the income becomes meaningful and eventually self-sustaining. This is what people are selling when they talk about passive income. But they're selling phase 3 without explaining phases 1 and 2. The fastest legitimate path for most people is a combination: a high savings rate directed into a diversified investment portfolio, compounding over time, while simultaneously building skills, or a side project that could eventually generate additional income. Neither path is fast, both require sustained effort, but both are real, unlike the beach and laptop fantasy that sells courses to people who want to skip directly to phase 3.